Hey everybody, welcome back to another Building Kashyyyk weekly segment. So guys, just starting off, got some cool stuff as always to show you. This week guys, I've actually done something pretty cool that you probably didn't see coming, was the Kashyyyk tree. Now I actually said a couple weeks ago that we were going to finish it. This is that episode, so we're kind of getting to that point where you can finish the Kashyyyk tree. It's very cool, got a lot of leaves that I've already put on the tree. You can kind of get a little sneak peek over there. But before we get straight into the Kashyyyk tree, the first thing I actually want to show you guys is the motors that are going to be powering the door. And I didn't get it just right. I didn't really think the motors through, I should say. So you're going to take a look at my prototypes. I haven't obviously finished motorizing the door just yet. I've ordered new parts, and pretty much I'll explain what I'm talking about when we get into the next part of the video. So you get to see me tinker around with motors, and I don't think I probably do the best job with them. I didn't think things through technically, but now when you watch the video, you see I figured out what I did wrong, and everybody makes mistakes, I guess what I'm trying to say. So you get to watch me make a wonderful mistake, but hey, it's just, we're all human here, so whatever. Anyhow, we'll get right into that guys. Then after that, we shall take a look at the cool finished, for the most part, Kashyyyk tree. So without ado guys, let's go check it out right now.
Alright guys, so welcome to me failing at doing power functions. So something I didn't realize, so guys, what I'm working on at the moment, what this is right here is, yeah, I'm on the floor right now. I was like, you know what, I want to be a kid again, so I was like, just put the Legos out on the floor and just build. Why not? Anyhow, so I've tried, this is my little really crappy prototype of trying to figure out how to make a really good door mechanism. So what I thought at first was, I have the power functions motors. As you can see, I have another one right here, with another switch that'll hook up to this battery box right here. So this is what I've come up with so far. I'll turn that on and turn that going. So here's what I have going on here. So what I thought is, usually the bigger the gear is and the more gears I thought for some reason you add, the bigger gears and the more gears will eventually make the end result slow down. Because I need it to be pretty slow, otherwise it'll just really rip this entire thing will rip itself apart, because it's going so fast that that when it hits the teeth on the door like this, the door will not break because it's a lot more secure than this thing. This thing will just blow up basically. This will fall out of place and excuse me, and it'll just look like crap, trust me. Anyhow, I was very stupid to think that this would slow it down. Not the case. So then I did some research online, and I found out there's a battery box, a power functions battery box that has, see this orange thing right here? This is the $12 battery box that I bought, and I thought, alright, this is going to work fine. But there's another battery box that's rechargeable that I was like, oh, it's rechargeable. It's $50. It's rechargeable. I was like, I don't need that. I can just, put some AAAs in this baby and use that. But what was something I didn't realize is that other battery box, where this orange thing right here is where there's a little crank turner, and that actually cranks the speed, meaning you can slow the voltage down. So less voltage equals less power to the motor equals slower thing. So basically, but that's still $50, and I was like, no thank you. So what I've decided to do is, I forgot that I also bought this cable. I didn't even realize this cable right here. I was like, when I was on like shoppinglego.com, I was like, alright, well, I'll just get this cable. It's like $3. I'll just get it, whatever. I thought it was just an extension cable. What it really is it's a backwards compatible cable that works with the old 9-volt. This old 9-volt from the old trains. It's a backwards compatibility cable. So it only way you can plug it is on this back here, which will plug in this, because any other way, because where this is, this will not it won't work. But on the bottom, just plug it in like that, and it works like that. And so I can, I tested this. I found this old NXT light sensor I had from a long time ago. I just plugged that in to the battery box, and this light came on, and I was like, alright, it works, fine, cool, whatever. So something I went ahead and did is, because this battery box which has the voltage turner, which means it'll slow it down, it's still $50 and still rechargeable. Not worth it. That's the biggest rip-off I've ever seen. What I've ended up doing is I went to Bricklink, and I bought one of the old train voltage turners. You know, if anybody's had a Lego train any time in their life, they'll remember how the power functions worked before this type of power functions was available. There was this kind of big thing that you would turn, this yellow handle right here, and you would just turn it up, and the train would go faster and faster as you turn it. It's actually just a voltage increaser. So I looked on Bricklink. They're only like $4 for one of those. So I bought that, and then I bought the cable to it. Yeah, I need to have a 9-volt cable, but it came with it. So I was only, I think it was $14 for the cable and the voltage turner. And then I also got another one of the cables that'll have this end on each side, so I can plug that. What I'll do is I'll unplug this, and what'll happen is I'll just plug this cable into this battery box right here, and I'll use this cable, put that, use the wire right here, plug that into, I might need another one of these cables, but anyhow, yeah, no, I won't. So I'll plug that into the wire will go to the voltage turner, and that'll be what's directing the power. Technically it's this, but this will go in first, and then I'll route the power out, so then this will go on top of this, and then the voltage turner will be under here connected to the yellow thing, and we'll use that for the power. And so then when this is going and I'm turning the yellow handle, then then this will slow down. I can excuse me. I can turn it to whatever power I want to, however slow or fast I want it to be, and I'll be able to do this on both sides of the wall. So yeah, then this will actually probably, to be honest, I probably only need one of these gears. I don't even need all these gears. They're kind of useless if I'm able to slow down the motor. So I'll have to redesign this. But anyhow, that stuff won't be here till next week's episode. So I just wanted to show you that I am working on the door. I'll turn that off. I am working on the door. I have faced some challenges. I might need to buy another one of these converter cables, but whatever. I'll get that going soon. I just wanted to show you guys that I am very much working on this. Excuse me. It's not an easy challenge at all. But yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and just move on to some other things because we can't really work on the power function this week. Sorry about that, guys. But hey, at least I figured out what I want to do now. Well, guys, I got a really cool Bricklink order this week, and we're going to try and see if we can finish the Kashyyyk tree this week. As you can see, I have a giant bag of these leaves. A giant bag. Like, that's a lot of leaves right there. I think, yeah, it's 700 right there, so I'm sure that's plenty to finish the Kashyyyk tree. So, without ado, guys, let's go. Alright guys, so I went ahead and built the other branches, and this is what it's looking like. So like I said, I put all the branches on the tree, and as you can see, it looks pretty cool when you start filling out the tree. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm filling out the edges, meaning I'm going around the edge of this area right here, and I'm just adding more leaves in between to give it a real more fuller, I guess, feeling, I guess you could say. So that's what I'm doing right now. But as you can see, it looks pretty cool when you start putting all the branches on.
Once I fill in all of this area right here, then what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna take some of these things kind of like this and just put some branches on it and just fill in the middle. It's gonna be sort of flat, but that's how the Kashyyyk tree kind of really is. It's not really too high up, so we'll probably bring it up to just about there and we'll be finished. So this is what was going on. It looks really cool when you start to see the tree all filled out and whatnot. So yeah, very cool. So we'll go ahead and finish up. So much green. So much green. Alright guys, so here is the finished tree. As you can see, there is a lot of leaves on the top. I'll just give a walk around. And I mean a lot of leaves. Like, that's a lot. Like my big 700 pack bag over there, it's about one sixth of it is left. So almost probably 500 leaves at least. We're using this. So yeah, very cool. It looks pretty darn good. However, I might make some changes later. For example, I feel like some leaves could go on on that end right there, a little bit right there, and a little bit, well, this end's fine. Probably just that end right there. Add some more coming off of it, because this looks pretty good on this end. This could go over a little bit more. But I didn't want to just put all of my our dark green leaves into the tree in case I want to use them on the wall or other decorative purposes, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to order that big of amount again, and it probably won't be for a while. So tree is, we'll just consider it done for now. Of course I'll make some changes later, but for the most part pretty much done. Just I'll add some more on the ends to make it come up, branch out a little bit more. Other than that, I would consider that pretty much done. Yeah, it looks really cool from all angles. Every angle you go from, it looks pretty sweet. I'm gonna try to do a full turnaround for you guys and get an idea of what I did. Technically, I could take the top off. I'm not going to, because it will destroy all the work I've been doing. There's some little gaps like this right here, but let's be honest, that's not really going to be important. I mean, again, these little gaps, they'll be filled in later, and some more will come out this way. But that's for later details. Like some more added detail will come later. But the whole overview is pretty much done. Stuff like that. But anyhow, what I did is, you can kind of see it. I actually did a pretty good cover-up job, so you can't really see it. But it's like a giant cross. Imagine a giant plus symbol right here. There's these limbs coming out here, there, this way, and this way. And then I kind of just connected them to make a giant circle. Actually, more like an oval of these branches, and then just started putting them in and in until I got to this point. So that's how I did that. And then on the edges I added more and more, and it just kind of all started flowing in together. It's basically how I did that. So definitely looks really cool. Even when you're at like this angle, you know, ground view angle, looks really cool too. So yeah. There's Yoda. So again, that was a lot of leaves I had to use to make this work. So very cool. Good to see that done. Like I said, I'll add some more on that side right there a little later, because even if I did add them right now, more or less, because that would go off the table, I would probably bump into them, and I have to do the rock wall right there, so I'd rather not be tearing down trees, moving my head trying to get to a certain spot for the rock wall. while doing that. So yeah, but anyhow, looks really great. Really happy with it. A lot of great detail. It really does look like a Kashyyyk tree now. Definitely looks a lot different when you add the leaves, I'll tell you that. It certainly changes the entire look of Kashyyyk. So yeah, really cool. Alright, we'll go ahead and move on from here, guys. So the last thing I went ahead and did, guys, was I installed this right here. I put this one, as you can see, it's completely installed around here, like that. So it's now officially in there. And then what I did is, some of you thought, it's gonna look all weird and stuff with the rock wall and stuff. So what I went ahead and did is probably the crappiest, sloppiest job ever of trying to show you what this would look like when the rocks start getting up to like that height right there. So that's what I started to do. Now see, it's just crap. Anyhow, see how this is like flat right here? It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be angled. I just put flat wall because I can't honestly build right here because there is nothing to build on right there. So just imagine the slants continuing from here. But yeah, so as you can see, it blends really well. Like, this is gonna look really cool. If you imagine rock wall, or this rock wall right here and right there, it's gonna look really cool, and it's gonna blend really well with the rocks. So I'm just getting rid of all of your guys. Anybody who really just said that it wouldn't work or wouldn't blend with the rocks, this is now you can see that it will blend with the rocks, and it looks really cool too. As for the other one that was right there, it is just chilling out right there. We won't put that one in until we start getting higher up in the rocks, obviously, and then we'll install it at that point. But this one's installed and it looks really cool and definitely really works with the rocks. I'll take this down a little later, but that won't be there next episode. So yeah, all of the things really working together on Kashyyyk. I mean, the tree really blends in with that, so like I could definitely see the two working with each other. So that's really cool. So really neat. Might as well give you a back view. I haven't decided, like, I think what I'm gonna do, is just cover, I'm not gonna leave it open like that. More or less, because these two levels right here are going to be these two levels, and then right here rock wall is going to keep going up, so there's no real way to make some type of way to get to this. So I think what I'm going to do is just like cover it up with brown, just like a solid brown wall right here, but using like these, so it at least adds a little texture to it, like that, and just kind of fill it up. Because I don't think I can make like a cool like way to get to this. No, because I'm gonna need, there's gonna be like, the two levels are gonna be right here, and there's gonna be a top floor right here that's gonna be acts excuse me, as a barrier, or I am just honestly not thinking of words today. Acts as basically a kind of a bridge type of thing, a sturdy holder. Well, I don't know. Anyhow, so then the wall, there really can't be any tunnels or anything, because these rocks right here will be building off this that'll be right here. So yeah. Anyhow, so that's probably what I'm gonna do, is just fill this up behind with that. Unless you guys have a better idea, you're welcome to comment below. But yeah. So I think that's going to be about it, guys. That's it. So thank you very much, and we'll go ahead and finish out the segment with me talking. Let's go. Alright, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Kashyyyk tree was kind of cool. We got the little like Kashyyyk platform thing hooked into the mountains. Plus I showed you, how the mountains are going to look around it. not really a great job I did there, but doesn't really matter, I guess. I just want to show a lot of you that it is going to blend well. Other than that, there's not much else to really say. Motors, you know, the whole motor thing, definitely going to get that all figured out hopefully by next week. The parts, the train, the 9-volt thing with the yellow, whatever, that's on its way, so that's already been shipped, so hopefully by next week I can maybe get one of the doors motorized. I don't know, it could take a while because it's not as easy as I thought it'd be, trust me. Motors are not the easiest thing to work with when you're trying to move a door back and forth. Excuse me. But anyhow, now one more thing before we leave, I want to touch on one more thing with you guys, which is why we haven't really started on behind the mountains on the 2 levels, you know, with all the control panels and all that stuff is. It's actually because of one key reason is because of lights. I need lights before I can start doing that. Now I've been talking to 2 different companies, Life Lights and Brix Stuff, which is a new company. Sure, I'm sure you've heard of Life Lights. Some of you out there have heard of that company before. I've emailed both, and I'm trying to figure out the better price between the 2. Seeing who to go with. Doesn't really matter. They're both about equal the same for what they both do. But now it's all down to price and stuff like that. So I'm working out a deal between the 2 companies and seeing who comes out working better. Anyhow, so that is why I haven't been able to work on the floors, because obviously, you know, those levels, floors, whatever you want to call them, need to be done before we can continue working on the mountains, and that's something a lot of you really want to see, is continue seeing the mountains being built up. Before we can do that, we have to get the levels done. Before we get the levels done, we have to get the lights. One thing at a time equals the other. So I hope you can understand that. Hopefully, within the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we can get started in the lights. However, by the time the lights come in, well, I would say the lights should come in hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because then I'm just pushing the levels off even more and more, and I really want to get to finishing those mountains. So we'll see what I can do. Because might as well say this in advance, because 3rd week of July there's not going to, well, I don't know, never mind, scratch that. But when we get down to the last week of July, when Brick Fair starts, I'm not going to be able to work on Kashyyyk, obviously, because Brick Fair is a big convention for me, and we'll talk about it then. But hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll be able to get those levels going with the lights inside, because I could. If I built the levels without the lights, then you know, I could go back in, maybe put the lights in, but it looked really sloppy. I'd rather build with the lights already here, so I make it really look clean and nice and neat. I'd rather not have light wires scrambling all over the place and make it look like crap. So I hope a lot of you can understand that. Other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this week's segment. So, excuse me, guys, give this video a big thumbs up, as well as definitely subscribe. It's a huge thing. Got a surprise for getting more subscribers. Trust me, it's coming. Alright, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in next week's segment. You guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.